How are you, my friends? This is part 3 that covers questions 24 to 36 of the 50 old exams review questions for the algebra course lectures 13 to 23. So there are general questions, and we have finished part 1, part 2, and we are going to start now part 3, question 24 to 36. 24. Not difficult. If minus 4 is a solution of the equation a, x plus 8 all squared plus 32, find the other solution. So minus 4, we have a is variable here, we have x also variable. But since we say minus 4 is the solution, so it goes directly in the x. So just x there. Minus 4 plus 8, 4 squared. Simplify all these numbers, 32 is equal to 0, so a will be minus 2. So put back a in the equation now, minus 2. Take 32 on the other side, divide by minus 2, you get x plus 8 squared is equal 16. That's an easy equation, quadratic, or we call it sometimes power equation. Use the square root property, take the square root of both sides, so x plus 8 is equal 4, or x plus 8 is equal minus 4. See, we know given one solution here, minus 4, so the other solution is minus 12. Okay, now let M be the midpoint of the line segment joining 1 minus 2 minus 3, 6. Let C be the center of the circle, whose equation is this. Find the distance between M and C. That's a nice general question that covers midpoint formula, circle, completing the square, center, and the distance between 2 points M and C. Nice question. So we have M is the midpoint, so x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. You know the formula. Make sure you remember the formula correctly. So capital M is minus 1 and 2. Now, this is the circle. The yellow is the circle. We have to complete the square. You know how to complete the square. The coefficient of x squared should be 1. Coefficient of y squared should be 1. 4 divided by 2. 2 square it, add 4 here on the other side. Y squared minus 8y. 8y divided by 2 minus 4 square it, 16. You add 16 here and there. So x plus 2, y minus 4 is equal 18. Now we don't use the radius here in this question. So the center is minus 2 and 4. So I have M, I have C. I need the distance between M and C. That's the distance formula. I wrote it for you in a nice color. So we take minus 2 minus minus 1 there, and then 4 minus 2. Altogether becomes square root of 5. Now this one is maybe not easy, but we need to make a sketch, just as a hint or advice. The line with x-intercept 1 over 4. So we have a line, the x-intercept 1 over 4, so y is 0, and y-intercept is minus half, so x is 0. Intersects the line y equals 2 at the point, y equals 2 is a horizontal line, by the way, at the point PQ. So find the value of P. Multiple choice, A, B, C, D, and E. Oh, I made a sketch here. See, we have a line. Suppose this is x-intercept here on the x, just imagine it. And this is the y-intercept. So the x-intercept, y0, y-intercept, x0. Okay. And then this is our line here where the points are. There is a horizontal line here, cuts the point PQ. So y equals 2. So Q, we know it is 2. So that's the point P and 2. See, what do we do here now? We have D, this is a point D, on the same line as A, on the same line as B. This is our line. So I have mentioned here 2 methods you can do. The easy one, method 2. Let's go to method 2 first. See, we have a line here where we have A and B and D. So I can take the slope of any 2 points. I can take BD, AB, BA, AD, any 2 points. Then find the slope of the first, slope of the second. I already found the slope of AB at the beginning because I need it in both methods. So A is 1 over 4, 0, B 0, comma minus half. If you find the slope easily, it will be 2. 2. Now method 2, we go back to method 2. I find the slope of BD because I have to include the P. So 2 equals this one here, 2 minus half over P. Okay, so cross multiply, you get 2P is equal 5 over 2, so P will be 5 over 4. That's answer is A. Or what can you do? Find the equation of the line AB. See this one? So I can use the point, y is 0, x is 1 over 4 with the slope 2. So that's the line. Now the point P2 lies on the line, so I can replace P here for the x and 2 for the y, you see? 2 here, this 2 for this y, and this P for the x. So I get the same answer. So I presented here 2 methods. Usually if you have an exam, like a quiz or something written, you have to put only 1 method. You cannot put 2 methods. But here, because we are explaining and discussing together, so I put method 2 maybe is easier. Let's see, this is a complex number again. All this is equal m plus ni. See on the left side, this is a big complex number. We have squared, we have power 5, we have subtraction. So you have to do all these operations until you reach standard. So when you get m and n, you go to the question here. You add n to the power m times n. Okay, so let's start. For sure, we have to start simplifying I power 5 and then 3 minus 2i all squared by the formula. And here we subtract, remember, just subtraction. Okay, so I to the power 5 is I power 1 because I power 4 is 1. So this is 2i minus 5. This one is squared. See this formula, please. 9 minus 2xy. See, minus 12i plus 4. Why plus 4? Because we have plus 4i squared. So 4i squared becomes minus 4. Remember that. Now that's a little trick here. So 2i, and then we have to simplify here. Everything is there. 9 minus 4 is 5, right? 9 minus 4 is 5. With the minus 5 cancelled. 2i with minus 12i minus 10i. Only we have minus 10i over this addition here. 4i minus 3i is I. 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3 plus I now. So when you simplify the whole question, you get minus 10i over 3 plus I. Now we have to multiply by the conjugate. 3 minus I, 3 minus I. This one by the formula, 3 times 3, 3 squared plus 1 times 1. Because there is an I here, we call it sum of 2 squares. And here we just multiply minus 10i, or you can leave it. See, you cancel here the 10. Minus I, you should multiply now. Minus I for 3 is minus 3i. Minus I becomes plus I squared, which is minus 1. So now, see, m plus ni. So m is minus 1. Well, n is minus 3. So when you add them here, you get minus 4. When you multiply them, you get 3. So minus 4 to the power 3 will be minus 64 is the nice answer. Perform the indicated operations. How many operations we have? Remember, this one is not an equation, guys. This is not an equation. You cannot multiply by LCD, please. Question 28 is an expression. Because you can, if you look carefully, look carefully, no equal sign, no equal. So you have to find the LCD here. 2 minus x, you have to factor this, you have to factor this, there is a division, change it to multiplication, and then multiply by the reciprocal here. Okay, let's see. Change it to multiplication, x cubed minus 8 will be up, this one is down. See, x squared, you can start anywhere to factor. X squared minus 4x plus 4 becomes x minus 2 squared. Now this one is little difficult here because we cannot factor it. See, x squared plus 2x plus 4. If you cannot factor something, leave it. Leave it. Third time, leave it. It will be cancelled. Now, we know x cubed minus 8. That's a popular formula. X minus 2, x squared plus 2x plus 4. You can cancel now this one. Now, remember, there's addition here. Wait, x minus 2 is cancelled. So I have 5 over x minus 2. And remember, we have seen before, this is 2 minus x. If I make it x minus 2, I take the minus up. So now we have two tricks in this question. Minus 4 over x minus 2 plus 5 over x minus 2. Same denominator, minus 4 plus 5 is 1. That's the simple answer. Now, if the solution of this equation is written as a plus or minus b square root of 3, find a times b. Okay, so we have squared, we have 3 over 2, we have 10, we have to rearrange it. For sure, we have to rearrange it. So take 10 on the other side. Take 10 on the other side. You see? Take 10 on the other side becomes 18. Multiply by 3 and then divide by 2. So that will be 27. Whatever you do, you can multiply by 3 first, then divide by 2, whatever. You will reach half x. See, half x plus 4 all squared is equal to 27. Now we take the square root of both sides. Half x plus 4 is equal plus or minus square root of 27. 27 we know 9 times 3. So we take 3 out, 3 square root of 3. Now multiply by 2 here. So we get x will be minus 8 plus or minus 6 square root of 3. Compare now. See, compare. This is what we got with the solution given a plus or minus b. A is all this number, and we have plus or minus in both, so b is only 6. When you multiply, you get minus 48. Now, find the domain. This is very nice question. Find the domain in interval notation of the expression square root of x minus 5 divided by x squared minus 5x minus 24. Now we have a little problem in both numerator and denominator. Here we have a radical or square root, so we have to make sure the radicand, all this positive, and here we have quadratic down, we have to factor it, and we cannot take any 0 in the denominator. Okay, so that's the problem here. It's not an easy question. So if you look at the numerator, the positive radicand should be greater than 0. So x minus 5 greater than or equal to 0. X greater than or equal to 5. So we start by closed 5 to infinity. This is the starting. But remember, denominator cannot be 0. If you factor this, x minus 8, x plus 3. This is the factoring. X cannot be 8. See, it will make it 0. X cannot be minus 3. Now check which number is inside this interval 5 to infinity. Maybe both, like 8 and 10 or 11 or 12 or 50. So we have to remove them both. Now minus 3 is already outside here. Minus 3 is back here. So we don't take it. Now x cannot be 8. So I have to go from 5 to infinity and remove the 8. Remove the 8 means I can say 5 to infinity except 8. Or, because the question says in interval notation, closed 5 to 8 open, union 8 open to infinity. That's the best final domain. Now, if the midpoint between this and this is 5 and minus 6, very nice question for an exam. Find the distance between them. So from the midpoint, go to the distance. So you have to use both formulas. And there is a k there. And then he gave you the midpoint. So this point are the endpoints. and this one is capital M, 5 minus 6. Then you can find K. Okay, so let's find the midpoint. M is, you add x1, x2, 13 minus 3, so that will be 10 over 2, 5. Minus 8, k minus 1, so k minus 9 over 2 is equal to 6. So this is 5, see the same 5. So this one will be minus 6, only the second one, because there is a k. So k minus 9 over 2 is equal to minus 6. Cross multiply, k minus 9 will be minus 12. So k will be minus 3. So I'll put the numbers now here. Minus 3, minus 8, 13. K put minus 3, minus 1 is minus 4. Now let's find the distance. X2, this is formula is here also. Oh boy, this is here, this is here. X2 minus X1. So 13 plus 3, because minus 3, 16 squared. You know, 16 squared, if you don't have a calculator, big number, leave it. Leave it and wait. Minus 4 minus 8. So that's 4. Squared 16. See, I put this question on purpose. I changed the numbers. Look at 16 squared plus 16. Don't multiply, add, you get hundreds, thousands. No, take 16 common factor here. Be smart. Take 16 common factor. So 16 plus 1 is 17. And square root of 16 here will be 4 outside. So the distance, 4 square root of 17. Easy number without any calculator. Now, complex number again. Maybe not easy. I to the power minus 49 times a minus 3 is equal to square root of minus 4 plus a cube root of minus 1. We need a in standard form. It's not difficult, maybe. Simplify this I. Simplify the cube root of minus 1. We know this is a real number. There is no I. Here there is an I, 2i. Put a on one side and then multiply by the conjugate. It takes time, maybe a few minutes. Now let me explain this in details. Square root of minus 4, only 2i. Cube root of minus 1 is minus 1. There's no question about that. I to the power minus 49, 1 over I to the power 49. 49 divided by 4, the remainder is 1, so 1 over I. Still 1 over I, we have to multiply by the conjugate. Minus I minus I. So minus I over minus I squared. So I squared is minus 1 with the minus plus 1. So this one minus I. See, all this is minus I. You see that? Simple, easy. I to the power minus 49, just minus I times A. And minus 3 is there, 2I is there, minus A. Very simple now. Put the A's together, take 3 on the other side, common factor A. So now A will be 3 plus 2I over 1 minus I. Multiply by the conjugate, as usual. When you have a division of two complex numbers, always multiply by the conjugate. And then multiply normal, you will get a half plus 5 over 2i. Please, you can check the numbers as a little practice. Now, perform the following operation. We have a subtraction here. Remember, there is no equal here also. Remember, please, no equal. So we cannot multiply by LCD. Now, you factor here, leave x minus 1 bracket. Here, x minus 1, x plus 1. You need LCD for sure. The LCD will be x plus 1, x minus 1. See, the last one here we have there, x squared minus 1, which is x plus 1, x minus 1. Here we have missing x plus 1, so I multiply up and down by x plus 1. So this becomes 3x plus 3 minus the x, because now these denominators are the same. Leave it. Guys, remember here, you have to leave the denominator. There is no equal here. If we have an equal, you can multiply both sides, but we don't have both sides. Here, you see, we don't have both sides. We have one side. Okay. So now 3x plus 3 minus x becomes 2x plus 3 over this. You have to leave the denominator. You have to leave all the fraction. That's the answer. 2x plus 3 over x plus 1, x minus 1. You cannot simplify it. Now, if the slope of the line passing through the points is minus half. See, we have point A minus 4, 5, point B, k minus 1. Slope already minus half given. Find the distance between the midpoint of the line segment AB and the origin. When we say find the distance, that means you need 2 points. You have to identify what are these 2 points, not AB. So you take the midpoint, that's 1 point. Another point is the origin, which is 0, 0. But remember, to find the midpoint of AB, you need k. To find k, go to the slope. It's a little story here, not big story, just a little story. So AB now, let's see. AB, I find the slope, y2 minus y1, you know the formula, over x2 minus x1 is equal minus half. Put the numbers here, minus 1 minus 5, k plus 4, and then k will be 8. Now I take the midpoint of AB, x1, x2, y1, y2. The formula for the midpoint, we have seen many times, it's 2, 2. 2, 2 and 0, 0. Remember, the origin is 0, 0. Find the distance, square root of 8, which is 2 square root of 2. That's the distance. Nice question. Now, just little application on a linear equation. Here you have to read. You have to assign a variable. Let's say let x or let y or let w or let a or let k. 1/5 of a number plus 1/4 of the same number is 5 less than half the number. What is the number? Not by guessing, guys. Sometimes you can get the answer by guessing if it's simple, but most of the time you cannot get it by guessing. So it's better to make what? Equation. Okay, let's see. Did you find the number? Let's see. 100. 1/5 of the number. Let x be the number. See, this is a big x here. Let x be the number. 1/5 of the number, 1 over 5x. Plus means plus. 1/4 of the number, 1 over 4x. Is means equal here. 5 less than half the number. So half x minus the 5. 5 less than half the number. Okay. So multiply now what? 5, 4, and 2. So the LCD will be 20. See, we have equal here. Multiply. This is an equation. The other one is expression. So multiply by 20, multiply by 20, multiply by 20, multiply by 20, every term. Here you get 4x, 5x, 10x, minus 100. See, this is 9. You bring it here, you get minus x is equal minus 100, so x will be the 100 is the number. Now a circle, that's not difficult, I think. A circle whose center, HK, lies in quadrant 4. That is tangent to both axes and its radius square root of 3. Find the value of h and k. You multiply them. So you have to find h and k for sure, then multiply them. B part, find the equation of the circle. I think you have done this. Just imagine the circle is tangent to both axes, on the x and the y also. And the radius here, see this radius here, this radius, given square root of 3. I know the point in quadrant 4, which is the center here, will be positive and negative, positive x, negative y. And since this is r, so this is h is square root of 3, k is minus square root of 3. So when you multiply h and k, square root of 3 minus square root of 3 will be only minus 3. See, this box here is only for decoration. Maybe I have to put it just to see to circle the answer here, minus 3. It's nice staying here between the two colors. Now the equation of the circle is x minus h squared, y minus k squared is equal r squared. I put h, I put k, I put r. Now this is the final answer. X minus square root of 3 all squared, y plus square root of 3 all squared is equal 3. This is the equation of the circle in the nice color. Thank you for watching. I wish I can see you in another video with another topic, and we are waiting now for part 4 to finish the 50 questions. This was part 3. Thank you for your time and effort. Thank you. See you later. Bye.